What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for this quick video, and today we'll be talking about super teams. I know that there's no legit definition for it, like it's really wide topic and it's open for any other interpretations. So I'll give you guys my take on how can I consider if a team is a super team or not. So now let's get right into it. So let's start first with when was the first time that people starts to mention the term super team, or some even call it big three, big four, or whatever. We all know that there are lots of stacked teams from the past, but as far as I know, the term big three or super team only became a household term when the 2008 Celtics formed their big three. Now you might be wondering what's with these three players, KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, that some other stacked teams doesn't have. I think it's because it's really rare for three players which are the faces of their own franchises come together in one off season on their prime years. If not exactly on their prime years, but at least somewhere in their prime. We all know KG was the face of the Wolves, Pierce for the Celtics, and Ray Allen for the Supersonics. And for those who don't know, Ray Allen averaged around 26 points per game before moving to the Celtics. That's how good he was. So I think those were the reasons for all those hype. So now let's go to the actual topic. What are the requirements for a team to be called a super team? There are lots of ways to tell it. Like as I said earlier, it's a really wide topic. Like there's a lot of interpretation for this one. But for me, a team must have at least two elite players, like really high level players. Like when I say high level, I'm talking about prime Miami LeBron James, early 2000 Shaq, or something like MVP Curry. So they need those two plus a third guy. Doesn't need to be a real superstar, to be honest, but at least it should be a level of a prime Dennis Rodman or a prime Ray Allen, something like that. Plus, of course, the rest of the team should be at least decent. Common thinking of some people is that they'll say, if you got at least 3 All-Stars, then that's a super team. Yeah, that could be right in some way, but it's not really a great way to look at it, because if that's the case, then this Hawks and Pistons teams should be considered a super team, right? And another way I can say that a team is a super team is if they have at least a really high level duo. I'm not talking about Kawhi PG or a Westbrook KD duo. I'm talking about Kobe and Shaq duo. If you got the duo like that, like the undisputed best center and the best shooting guard at that time, you don't need a third guy to be called a super team. And now you might be wondering, what about AD and LeBron duo? I don't think they're a super team, to be honest. If only that's the prime LeBron, like the Miami LeBron, yes, it's going to be a super team. So now let's go to the fun part, just to give you a better perspective on my opinion. I'll pull out teams, then I'll let you know if I consider them a super team or not. And let me know in the comment section if you want to change something or just want to put out your own list. So now let's get right into it. So let's start first with the 2012 LA Lakers. Kobe and Dwight still an elite level at that time, plus Pau as the third guy. I think this was a super team. They're right at the edge though. Pau was not on his best self at that point, but seeing Steve Nash and Ron Artest on the lineup makes me give them the benefit of the doubt. So that was a super team. I know they didn't accomplish much, but we're talking about when you look at the roster on paper. What do you think about them? Next one, 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. You got the past prime LeBron James plus Kyrie and K-Love. I don't think that's a super team. I know Kyrie did good, but he's nowhere near prime D-Wade that time to even it up. Next one, 2015 Golden State Warriors. Not a super team, to be honest. I considered Clay and Draymond like a third man caliber only. It just happened that Curry was just too good at that point and they just fit each other. But of course, adding KD on 2017 makes it a super team, obviously. The 2008 Celtics, of course, that's a super team. 2002 Lakers, of course, that's a super team as well. The Magic era Lakers, of course, that is a super team as well. Next one, 2007 San Antonio Spurs. This is kind of tricky, but I think they were not a super team at all. My reason is, if you put Parker or Manu like alone in a team, I don't think they'd be like a superstar like Tim Duncan. So I think it just happened that they're just good together. That's why they accomplished much, but they're not a super team. Next one, 2004 Detroit Pistons. Tricky one as well, but I don't think they're a super team. Same reason as the Spurs. A while ago, they're just good as a team. Next one, 2011 Dallas Mavericks. Same reason, not a super team at all. I know you might be thinking, come on, man. They beat the super team LeBron. They must be a super team as well. Again, I'm talking about the narrative super team, and I don't think they fit into that category. Next one, 2021 Milwaukee Bucks, not a super team. Giannis is the only player there that is considered elite. Of course, Chris and Drew are good players, we all know that, but it's not good enough to be like a Chris Bosh or D Wade sidekick. Next one, 2012 OKC Thunder. At that point, KD was the only elite player at that time, so they were not a super team. And next one, interesting one, 96 Bulls. Yes, of course, that was a super team. Pip was good enough to be considered elite, plus a third guy like Dennis Rodman makes it a super team. Next one, 2010 Miami Heat. Of course, that was a super team. 2021 Brooklyn Nets. Yes, it is a super team if healthy. And for the last one, let me know in the comments section what you guys think about this one. This one is an interesting one. 2022 Lakers. You got a 37-year-old LeBron James, prime 80, and a still elite level Westbrook. That's a super team in my opinion. Without Westbrook, that's not a super team, but of course, putting a triple-double machine like Westbrook in that one, that's a super team. So again, these are just my opinion. Like, this topic here is really open for lots of interpretations. So let me know in the comments section if you want to do any changes on my list, or you can even comment your own list. So that's all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.